From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
But you can say the love is true, psychic, emotional all around you. So you can find the things to do, psychic, emotional all around you.
It's Tuesday, October 30th, 2018, and it's the spooktacular edition of the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studios on the ones and twos, our illustrious producer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
You made it through space camp. Joining us from Nashville, Tennessee, Tyler Huckabee.
Sup, witches?
And and joining us from what looks like a broom closet, author, speaker, podcaster, cowgirl extraordinaire, Annie F. Downs.
Good morning, gents. I'm sorry that I missed a show. I'm glad to be back. All is well in our world
Twitter
again.
had some conspiracy theories about your absence last week, that the show that you were last on, Jesse and you came to blows about your slice or lack thereof.
It got heated.
And Twitter was picking sides. I mean, Twitter was ruthless.
And I feel like this. I didn't do like a hard
Jess.
calculation, but I feel like the people spoke in Annie's favor for the most part. I feel like it was probably 75-25. Do you think that's about right, Annie?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah,
Although
but
I
they're
do
just
think-
sympathetic toward me because I'm pretty. It's not necessarily that I have the right news over you, buddy.
Well, here's this. You had a lot of great tweets, but we typically do this at the very end of the show. We got a big show, so I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it right up front today instead of the end, which is we ask people to go leave us iTunes reviews. And I pick a
Jesse,
couple.
I don't handle bad reviews well.
And I say, you too could be like this person, maybe have your iTunes review read. So here's a 5-star review that we got, Annie. Okay.
Oh, no. Cameron or Tyler, have y'all heard this already?
I have no idea. I can't wait.
This is an actual iTunes review. Please review us. And this may or may not be related. You may have won the Twitter battle, Annie, but I do want to read this. So for people that don't know, I rejected one of Annie's slices that happened to be about the world's fattest bear.
The science is you rejected 100 of my slices, but go ahead.
Okay, this is a 5-star review from Steve. He's got a bunch of E's, 1232. And I did 5 stars. 5 stars. And here is the title of the review. Great podcast, except for fattest bear slice. Here is the actual review. Here's the actual from Steve, 1232.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with the amount of vowels he's got in his name.
I have listened to this podcast for about 5 years now. Always makes me chuckle, except for the time Annie brought the slice about the always existent fattest bear. Like I said, my combating was like, it's not newsworthy because there's always a fattest bear.
There's always a fattest bear.
And he concludes by saying, I approve of Jesse rejecting Annie's slice.
Oh,
well, 5 stars. 5 stars. Go leave us a review.
Take it. I'll take a 5-star. I'll take one for the team.
Tweets come and go. Tweets are disposable. Here today, gone tomorrow.
That
review
is
will live on
the page
forever. Yeah,
Reviews. That's a tattoo. I wondered if maybe you're getting a little out of line. Well, as part of the reason that you were downgraded, because usually this is visual, but usually when we see you, Annie, you're in this Chip and Joanna Gaines looking like situation.
She's got shiplap. She's got
barnwood behind you, and now it looks like you look like you're in like a preschool,
supply closet.
Wow.
Yeah,
like where they keep all.
That's hurtful.
Preschools are great.
I literally switched sides to the other side of my desk because my friend Kate that works with me is here at office today. So I'm sitting on the one side where I normally sit on the other side. So that because at the start of the show, I used to sit on this side and y'all would always roast what you saw in the background, which is exactly what you're doing today.
It's lovely.
So I switched to the other side
now I feel bad.
where you can see the beautiful pictures and the lamp. It's the literal same room. It's just the other side of the exact same desk that I sit at every week.
Turning my world upside down. I've been in that room.
I know.
And this still doesn't
highlight
look familiar
reel
to
versus behind. And literally, this was your view when you were in the room, Huck.
Yeah,
this is exactly what you saw the whole time. When you sat here and recorded my podcast, you were facing me just like this.
Annie, honestly, I was so in the zone that I don't remember a single thing about that day. I was out on pure instinct.
Annie, I will say this too. Depending on what side of the fattest bear gate you came down on as a listener, either you or I have a chance for redemption today. Because you texted me earlier and I said, no, I said, this is my thing. I said, you have full reign today, Blow my mind. Blow our mind.
I actually texted you 3 things in the last 2 days, and you haven't responded at all. You haven't responded. I thought Jesse's, and then I send you a slice as I do every week to get it approved, and you said, "Best of luck, Downs," and you gave me no idea if anyone else is bringing the exact same slice. If this slice is entertaining to you, if it fits the WWJD that I'm trying to fit.
Hey, listen, this is me removing the net under the tightrope. This is Nick Walinda. Yeah. This is Nick Walinda going basic cable where they don't care if he plunges into Niagara Falls. Like,
my favorite part was I said, "You're never going to approve my slices ever again." You said, "No, just this week." So I'm literally on restriction for
restriction. I just want to see how it goes. You know, I want
1 week without a regulator. Yeah.
The slice one I found feels like it is very sitting around a dinner table. Let's have a conversation about this very interesting piece of information. Worthy. So we'll see.
You guys have done an amazing job building anticipation for slices. I just want to thank you. Hey, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up after slices, Dr. Eric Mason joins us. He's the author of Woke Church. Tyler talked to him this week, and that'll be coming up later. We also tell you about the brand new issue of Relevant, which is sitting in front of me. Some of the highlights and behind the scenes stories about the new issue that you guys will get to experience this week. And then at the end of the show, my favorite segment, Ask Jesse. You guys are sending in your life conundrums, and Jesse's going to answer them for you.
There are so many of them, too. Just so many. I read them this morning on Twitter. I was like, my word, people need help.
And I'll say this, too. Annie, this is the real reason that we're doing the new issue preview later. And the real reason I didn't want you to bring the world's fattest bear slice last week. I didn't want you to take the wind out of our sails or undercut us on the week that the magazine goes out because we put the world's fattest bear on the cover.
I heard the show from Friday that the world's fattest bear was one of the options.
It wouldn't fit in the vertical format, so we had to do a fold-out gatefold cover.
This is the most expensive issue we've ever printed. It's
well, that bear worked hard to be found as and voted as the world's fattest bear.
It's very marketable.
What a conversation starter. Conversation starter.
People around the world are abuzz about this bear and his weight.
Our Twitters are a little abuzz about that fat bear, that's for sure.
And how much more he weighs than the world's second fattest bear, who was just dethroned. I mean, it's a whole thing.
Jesse brought the idea to the editorial team, and we were all like, "We love it.
We love it. It's great.
We love it. We can't think of a better story."
Nothing says intersection of faith and culture, relevant content than the world's fattest bear. Definitely, it's on
Here's
the cover.
What's true. We haven't talked about another slice in my history of this show like we've talked about that world's fattest bear. So success,
True.
Annie.
Your intuition is probably
way
better than
way
mine.
off. I know.
We've been doing this a long time, and our content reaches millions of people, and it still staggers me when I see our content in the real world. Did you see, Annie? I think it was after church yesterday on Sunday that a pastor, a young adults pastor, was like somebody shot a video of him in service, like bringing the world's fattest bear to he did it in the sermon, and he put it up on the screen, and then he referenced what you said about it. It's
terrifying.
It's so crazy to me that that became a thing. It entered the sanctuary. I mean,
the Lord's going to ask me about that later. I have a real feeling that I'm going to be held accountable for that behavior.
Maybe he was preaching on... I've always been disturbed by the Bible's single bear story.
Right.
Where Elijah is walking around and there's a couple of kids and they're like, "Hey, Baldy." That's the extent of their insults. Okay. They simply note that Elijah happens to be losing his hair. And this is how serious Elijah takes hair jokes.
I don't know this story, Jesse. Is it in the Bible?
This is in the Bible. So he's walking
Jesse's
along.
favorite Bible. Jesse's covered this many times on this podcast.
We do a
Where is it,
devotional.
Jesse?
We do a devotional
Kings.
at the end of staff meeting every week. Every week, Jesse tries to tell the Elisha bear story.
Okay, here I'm going to read it from the Bible itself, so I don't butcher it for people. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so this is from 2 Kings. Okay, as he was walking down the road, some boys came out of town and jeered at him, saying, "Get out of here, Baldy. Get out of here, Baldy." Okay? Again, you think you take that in stride, literally.
Story, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Elijah turned around, looked at them, called down a curse on them in the name of the Lord. 2 bears came out of the wood and mauled 42 of the boys.
Whoa, 2 bears? Two
bears.
Israeli bears mauled 42 boys?
And the extent of their insults was Baldy. You know?
And,
my
but it was a gang. I mean, there was more than 42 boys following Elisha, taunting him.
That's a lot of people
That's
mocking you.
what I'm saying.
That's not like 2 dudes leaving the Chick-fil-A. That is a lot of people mocking you. 42.
Have you ever been mocked by like young teens? It gets
They're
you.
very
There is
hurtful.
nothing in
awful.
this world. It cuts deeper. Like whenever I see them, I seize up and like it's
Like
going to
they're
happen.
gonna make
Halloween.
fun
I'm
of
going to be
you.
walking out around. I'm going to see a group of kids, and they're not even going to say anything. They're just going to look at me, and immediately I'm going to shrink.
So
into
you're
myself.
saying I'm reading this all wrong. Like a disproportional response is not calling down 42 bears because they're calling down
Not
2
42
bears.
bears. Yeah.
2 bears.
So if it mauled
2 bears.
42 of the boys, I bet there was at least another 10 that got away.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
a lot of people
That's a good
mocking
point,
him.
yeah.
Because
right?
you don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun the guy next to you.
That's
Yeah,
right. He's got to
exactly.
outrun the guy. He's got
Exactly.
to outrun
Also-
42 of your friends.
Yeah, and
you know
honestly-
who feels the luckiest is that 43rd guy, the one
Yeah.
who almost got eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is
That's
faster.
crazy.
Yeah.
Pastor Jesse, what happens after that story? Where does that go? Is that all we know?
That's the entirety of the story. Then it just moves on to Elijah's next thing.
What?
Like he's like got
Why
showdowns
is
with
that
like
in
the
there?
prophets of Baal, and he's got these kids, making fun of his receding hairline. Here's the thing. I understand. I can relate to what it feels like to be
boy.
mocked by a teenager because this week Cameron and I were at Space Camp.
I was hoping this was a lead into Space Camp.
What a great segment.
And,
that was a good
and
segue.
at Space Camp, it is mandatory. It is mandatory to wear a blue flight suit
Yeah,
for
onesie.
the whole day. Okay.
Oh, I saw the pictures. Y'all looked so spacey.
Yeah, it's a space suit. It like head to toe. It's got flags all over, and it has a giant
Patches
goofy.
and-
Patches and stuff. And one of the patches is one with a very cartoony looking astronaut. It says Space Camp on it.
Yeah,
and
like
so,
a child's logo, essentially.
I got called out early on because I was the first one to take off the spacesuit.
Wait, you got called out at Space Camp?
Well, they were
no,
like,
no.
"Oh, Jesse's too cool for the
No,
thing."
they
So I
were
didn't want to
dropping
wear
us-
it on the ride home.
No, they were dropping us back off at the hotel. They took us in a van back to the hotel, right? And it was a nice hotel with, non-Space Camp people in the lobby.
Yeah.
And we're all in our flight suits. So all we got to do is make it from the front door to the elevator, and then we're home free. Jesse
Yeah.
couldn't handle the idea of walking in a group
No.
of blue flight suited adults through the lobby
Too
of the
cool.
hotel. So he took his off in the parking lot. They were wanting to take a
Jesse.
group picture.
Yeah.
And Jesse had already disrobed. And they're like, oh. And then it made all of us feel nerdy.
As you should have felt. Because here's the thing: at Space
Was
Camp,
this on the first day?
No, second. End of the first day, yeah.
yeah, and it was
So
first
you'd
day.
already been the flight instructor and made friends, Jesse, and you
I was
still
already the commander
derobed
at
in
that
the parking
point.
lot.
So here's the
Yeah.
thing, but while you're walking around Space Camp, it's also like a kind of this hybrid children's museum thing where a lot of like classes are on field trips, and some of them are like middle school, early high school, and
Oh,
they're all
gosh.
hanging around. I should be hanging with them. Okay, I shouldn't be walking around in a goofy flight suit, and I can feel their eyes making fun of me. And one of them, as we're walking by, was like, "Hey man, you a real astronaut?" It took all of my courage not to call down 2 bears and maul that kid, teach him a lesson.
Why didn't you just say yes, Jesse? Was he asking in a mocking tone or in like a
it was
teenage?
mocking. It was
Oh.
mocking. It
He
has,
looked like a slacker. He didn't want to be there.
Yeah, he
he
didn't
was
wanna
there
be there.
on a field trip. It was mandatory. We had a great time. It was this weird thing where there was this hybrid thing between like real NASA equipment and astronaut training stuff. I mean, like actual like this is the apparatus that they do astronaut training on, and so. We got to use that stuff, and then other parts of the building were essentially a kids' science museum, science center and
Yeah.
stuff, and like interactive exhibits and whatever. Look, it was this weird thing. We couldn't figure out like really what the MO was, but it was in Huntsville, Alabama, where they built like all the rockets and stuff. There's a huge NASA facility there, and like there's the Saturn V rocket that went to the moon was there, and I mean, not the one that went to the moon, the testing one that they never fired to the moon. But I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's bigger than a football field and stuff. I mean, so it's like this real NASA experience combined with kids' field trips, walking around. But yeah, the first day, we were there for 2 days. Jesse, we went, each day we had like different astronaut training things we got to experience. And then we had team missions each day. The first day was a shuttle mission. And the second day was a lunar mission.
How many people altogether? Sorry, have you already said this? I need to get a better, 20, I need you to be a more theater of the minds for me. How many humans are there at Space Camp with you?
It was a trip that the Nat Geo channel took us on to it was a media trip. So they were promoting season 2 of their new series Mars, which is, if you saw season 1, it's like this interesting hybrid. It's like a documentary combined with a drama, like a dramatic show, like, and it goes back and forth between the two.
Sounds a little bit like my life, bud.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And the first season was great. And then so the new season is like, the first season was 20 years from now, it was like humans going to Mars to set up a colony. And so is all the challenges of that. Season 2 is down the road. Like they've been there for 10 years at this point. And so now, now it's more of like the ethics of like, is humanity going to repeat the mistakes that they made on Earth, good versus evil and consumption and all that kind of stuff. So it's just interesting. So we're there, it's just a media trip. It's probably about 25 media there.
I was about to say, that's a very long answer for you giving me a number, Cameron.
USA Today,
USA
Today, Mashable, all AV Club, all the big outlets were there.
That's so fun. Okay. Yeah. 25 people, all media people.
Yeah. All adults.
So no pure space nerds except you, Cameron.
I would say there was varying degrees of enthusiasm among our group. Like some of these people were pretty into it. I got told at one point when after we did like some trial runs for a mission, because you practice.
Well, I set this up a little better. Okay. I know the moment you're going to say. So we had the morning on the mission. We were split into 2 teams. So we had like 11 on our crew. And you have people assigned to different roles. So you have mission control, and you have the pilots and the flight commanders. You have people in the space station doing experiments. I mean, so everybody has a role, and it's so the
very
morning
nerdy.
was a run through. You have the script, the actions, whatever, and then in the afternoon was the real mission. And it's a competition with the other team. Who can score the most points during the thing, like. There's a script of like, here's what we're going to do, take off. Here's what we're going to do in the air. Here's how we land. They'll throw anomalies into the mix. Mm-hmm. And so all of a sudden, like a buzzer will be going off, and you've got to like talk to mission control to get how do I fix whatever's broken and all this stuff, right?
I mean, Jesse is yawning while you're telling the story. No. He was there.
I was there. Not only was I there, but I made the bold decision right out of the gate. Like, look, I'm here. I'm going to make the most of this. So
I think it sounds so cool. I'm jealous y'all didn't take all of us.
At the beginning, you had to they explained all these roles as Cameron's talking about, and they're like, someone needs to be the flight commander, and they're the boss on this mission. And I knew at that moment, like, look, if I'm here, I'm going all in. And I announced to these people that I will lead us. And there was.
This is like, we haven't even met the people yet. Like literally.
Did you laugh, Cameron, when he volunteered?
Oh no, I'm next to him, and I'm like pointing at him, like, do it. And he goes, I will lead us. I mean, they just blurts it out. Like, I was egging him on, and then he did. So he's the flight commander. So in the morning, like. We're all on comms together and stuff, and it's like, come on, we're just at adult space camp, so we're just all like farting around. And so Jesse's being Jesse, and he's on the comms, and he's like making jokes.
It real seriously, but he's just being a Jesse.
He's messing around, and he's like making like space jokes and whatever, and like he's going off script and going off script and stuff. And like if you watch my Instagram story, like I the actual people who work there, like in the, walking us through it or whatever. And like, there's this lady who was really serious about it. And there's like a buzzer going off and and it's on my Instagram story. I was filming this exact moment on the closed circuit television. And this is like case in point. Jesse's like, he's pressing all the buttons to fix the buzzer. And then he goes, crisis is averted. And then mission control immediately comes in and goes, it is not averted. Like, he didn't even do the thing. The buzzer's still going off, and Jesse's just messing around.
Well,
Anyway.
so I'm like, I'm trying to just make this like boring mission practice as fun as it can be for everyone, even though
Sure.
some people are getting frustrated. So later that day, we return to our space capsule, and it's time for the actual mission that we've been rehearsing for that I was just joking around in the whole time. So we go up there, and I'm the flight commander. That hinges on my ability to perform this task. And so I go down and I sit in the command seat, the seat of the commander. And the guy next to me is like the co-pilot. And they're like,
Is
okay,
he cool?
he's cool.
Danish.
Yeah.
He's Danish.
But he looks over at me, and as we're about to start the mission, he goes, "Hey, I know this is going to be hard for you, but there's no joking around this time." And I was like, okay, so you guys are like into this. Like this is for real this time.
And what he didn't realize is saying
He's
that
over
to
it,
you
man.
is literal fuel on the fire.
Right? Jesse, later we were talking about it. It's like, he really wanted to be the flight commander. And Jesse just blurted out, I will lead us before he got a chance to. And so, he was just seething the entire time that like Jesse wasn't taking this seriously. Jesse was driving the real shuttle simulator. It was like the training shuttle simulator from the space shuttle.
And not only that, I safely landed us back on the shores of Cape Canaveral, Florida.
On all the practice landings.
In a way that
he had to
never been
manually
done.
do it. He ended up in the woods every time, right?
In the woods?
During practice,
Every practice.
I landed that bird in the woods every time. Like,
Don't you have to land in the water?
no, you land on a runway on this.
The shuttle is a runway situation.
Oh, sorry. Shuttle.
So I go. So the real mission happens. I'm back in the space station.
Again,
so
can you just put quotes around real because it's not
so the afternoon session.
the real one. Got it. Okay, the real one.
I'm in the back. I hear, I'm here. I'm in the space station. So I'm not hearing, like, I can't see what Jesse sees or anything. So I go back, we're done. Everything is over. And I go into mission control and I'm like, hey, like, did he land it this time? Because Jesse hadn't come out of the simulator yet.
Real quick, because in practice, the first time I attempted a barrel roll upon reentry and did not work. The subsequent times when
You
they're like,
ruined
okay,
everyone's
dude,
space,
try to land this thing. Like, it was deep in the woods, like not even close. Because because in practice, I was like, because everyone's like, dude, you landed in the woods every time. And I'm getting off the space shuttle and I'm like, yeah. And because they're like actually wanting me to be able to land it when the real mission comes around. I'm like, well, in fairness, it's like a super small runway. I'm like trying to defend myself from these people. And a guy who works there looks at me and announces to everyone, because he hears me say that, it's actually the largest runway ever built. And I'm like, shut up, dude. I'm landing in a space shuttle that just went around the moon, okay? Give me a break.
He said it's 3.5 miles long. And Jesse says to me, it's not the length, it's the width. It's too narrow. I'm like,
Yes. So you started caring.
Well, at that point, they're turning on me. They're turning on the commander.
Yeah, which I learned this week you don't handle well. Do not handle it well.
They're turning on the commander.
So I go down to mission control after the mission's over because I heard a right. Like that's what I heard, and I go to mission control. I was like, "Did he land it?" And they pointed up at the screen. They're like, "Look, right in the middle of the runway,
Dead center of the runway."
And I was
Jesse!
like, "Whoa!" And they go, "Well, he hit like the nose, but it like bounced, and then he got control and he landed
People
it." And I'm
literally
looking at
yelled in my capsule because I was coming a little hot, but we bounced in.
They yelled like people thought they were. Wow, this is a crew.
No, listen.
This is
So I
quite a
look up
crew
at the
of people.
screen, and I'm looking at the shuttle on the screen, and the entire back 2/3 of the shuttle is the payload, right? And the roof opens up, and I'm looking at it, and it's sitting there on the runway, and the entire roof is open. The entire payload is open, and I'm like, "What? We landed it, but why is it open?" And they go, "We were yelling at him to shut the payload doors, but he never did." And he landed a space shuttle with the payload doors open, with the roof,
impressive.
with no roof. It was really impressive.
That's called a flex. Not only am I going to land this
called
thing
a
dead
flex.
center, I'm going to do it with the payload doors wide open. Like no one's ever done before. When I walked into that control room, and when I deboarded, because I was the last one out of the shuttle, and I walked into that control room, and all 20 members of my team are in there. You should have heard the applause, and I don't think they were making fun of me.
Cameron, confirmed, denied.
Cameron, am I
Was there
lying?
actual
Am I
applause?
lying?
Well, they were okay. So when he walked in, everybody kind of gave him a courtesy clap, and then I pointed out in front of everybody.
Courtesy clap.
I pointed out to everybody, Jesse, look at the screen. The payload door's open, and then everybody starts busting up laughing. And then Jesse went into Jesse mode, telling us how it was just he wouldn't increase the level of difficulty because it wasn't hard enough and all that stuff.
So Jesse went to space camp and stand-up comedy camp at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Two other short highlights. People have been asking, did Jesse do the scuba? Remember the scuba, the weightless thing?
Oh, yeah.
So the scuba thing was that night. Jesse and I both got in around midnight the night before. We missed the evening debrief. And apparently everybody who signed up for scuba had to bring all their swim gear to the thing that morning. And we didn't know that. And so neither of us had our stuff. By the end of the day, it was like from 7 to 10 or something at night. We were just wiped and we both tapped out. We both did not do the scuba. Yeah. And it wasn't for fear or anything like that. It was just, we were just tired and wanted to go to dinner.
And people who did scuba said it was kind of lame anyway. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then the next day we did the lunar mission, super brief. I got to do a spacewalk. I got to do the weightless thing.
Is it cool?
Full spacesuit, like heavy, big boots, the whole thing. And then they rigged me up to this thing that is an apparatus that had behind this wall. It was like, I don't know, like some sort of rig that was kind of suspended from the ceiling. And on the other side of this big wall was like a water ballast or water tank that would fill up. And it put me at the moon gravity, which is 1/6. And so part of the lunar mission or whatever is I had to do, I had to install a solar panel or something. And I had the...
How did it go?
I did it fine. But I had the whole weightlessness thing and it was crazy. And I was able to like fly around the room and like do all the stuff like you would on a moonwalk. It was really insane and it was really cool. I had a good time.
I'd like to note that during the lunar mission, which is the cool one, I was demoted to the least important position there.
What'd you do?
Cameron's
allowed
in a
the shuttle
spacesuit, installing a solar panel and like anti-gravity simulation. Yeah. People are on the moon. Everyone on my team's on the moon doing experiments. Some people are landing the lunar module, on the moon. I am in a room back in Houston, sitting at a computer that doesn't even have a keyboard. They didn't even give me a keyboard. They said all you can do is talk.
Jesse,
all I can do is talk.
They have to do that because there have got to be people who show up who do what you did about wanting to lead, but they mean it. So they've got to demote people.
So as an act of rebellion, we started blasting music over the comms.
They were playing they were like, "Fly me to the moon."
Oh my gosh, Jesse.
And then they were doing
ground control to me. We're just blasting the hits. And like the woman who worked in the Houston area with me, this is the Houston, like they have a simulation of the moon, 2 doors over, and back in Houston, it's just like you're sitting in front of a computer monitor without a keyboard with a logo, staring at a logo. So it's like, look, we're blasting tunes, and I'm going to tell some jokes if you're just going to make me sit here, which I did.
The lunar camp thing that they built inside is huge, and it's essentially an exact to scale replica of what a lunar base would be. I mean, like the International Space Station thing that I was in on the first day was the actual, like, there was like all these like kind of explosion marks and stuff in it. And then I was asking him like, what happens during space camp that makes that happen on the wall? And he's like, no, this is the actual like space station training thing that the astronauts used. And so like those were actual, marks from, NASA stuff. And we can't wipe it off like legally. Like it's a, historic landmark sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And the lunar base thing is built to scale. Like so you really do get the sense of like this is what living on the moon would be, which is really cool. And then Jesse's just in a room with a row of computers simulating Houston. So
yeah, really I would have loved to see all that cool moon stuff, but I was in a room that is supposed to simulate a room. Well, this is what an actual room with a computer looks like. And it's like, oh, where? Like, no, literally, just sit there and don't touch anything this time. And while everyone else is simulating the moon.
He had no ability to mess this mission up. And
I didn't even have buttons. There was no keyboard. Like I said, there wasn't even a keyboard. Like all I had was a headset where I could talk to people. That was all that I could do. And I was like, well, at least when something goes wrong, because I asked him, because I'm like, how about this? Because I announced as soon as I got there that I was very displeased and that I was humiliated by
as soon as you got to Houston.
To Houston, I announced to everyone that this is an insult to the commander, and how disrespected I felt. And then I tell the real employees working in Houston with me, like I said, which is a room with a computer. And I said, well, how about this? When they call back to Houston and they're like, hey, something's gone wrong, Houston, you need to talk us through how to fix it. I'm like, at least I'll be ready for that, you know?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, actually, this lunar simulation's really new and we don't have any anomalies to programmed in yet. So nothing's going to go wrong. It's all going to go perfectly.
No.
So the whole
literally
point-
I just sit here.
Yeah.
Did you
So the whole
never
point of
ever get to
Houston-
say, Houston, we have a problem? Oh, no, I guess that would be you, Cameron, saying it back to Jesse.
We did that day one, you
I would
know,
hope
because
so.
there was a ton of problems that would happen. But day two, Jesse was Houston. He was finally the problem solver, and they hadn't programmed any problems yet.
No.
Yeah, so
they-
literally my job at Space Camp, like I said, was to just sit there and quietly.
It was
you know?
literally the ultimate demotion. It was from top to last. It was funny.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so you
We had a
loved
good
it.
time.
What? Give it a score, 1 to 10, both of you.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Well, I have a permanent Halloween costume. You know, like I have
Space Force.
Is that-
Cameron, no, but for real, in your real heart of hearts, no one will mock your answer. Was that like a 10 out of 10 experience, like a life dream come true, or not quite, or?
I would say going with Jesse made it absolutely everything I hoped it'd be. If I had gone by myself, I would have been very self-conscious that this is lame. You know what I mean? Like, why am I
But
here?
going with a
This-
Made it
Yeah,
cooler.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was
Jesse, what's your score?
I'll say day one when listen.
You had 2 different space camps.
I was kind of the hot shot that cut corners that the NASA brass, isn't comfortable with.
Yeah.
But
You were
did I
Goose?
land that? Did I land that thing? Did I do it my own ways? Did I play by my own rules? Sure. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. And everyone
10
on my
out of
team
10.
probably would agree. Day 2, when they took the most talented pilot they've ever seen, who, by not taking one practice landing seriously, was able to land it with the payload doors open perfectly while keeping morale.
That
What
guy in
I'd like to
Houston.
say is through the roof when they shove him off in a room in Houston. That's a negative 10. That's a negative 10.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And you get to keep the spacesuit.
Yeah, we did.
That's
And-
pretty cool. You're right. That's a good Halloween costume.
Well-
Jesse, you could dress all your kids up as planets.
No, Jesse and I are going to do the same thing. There's all the patches are real, like NASA patches, mission patches, all this stuff, American flag, whatever. And it's the
like
actual,
whatever
like
after
this
the
is
American flag.
the flight suit that the astronauts wear and NASA. And but then they put a big old space camp patch on the chest, right? Jesse and I are both for Halloween costumes going to just take a piece of white tape and just cover up the word camp and write force.
Yeah.
And we're going to both carry
Very
like
timely.
Nerf guns and we're going to be Space Force.
I will say this.
that.
The other big insight is everyone there hates Space Force. Like, it's a very anti-Space
yeah.
Force
Is
place.
it?
Oh, yeah.
All the NASA people. We talked
Jesse,
to like
dig into that like conspiracy theory feels.
Well, I want to know, because I was thinking about this over the weekend, what's the proposed difference between what the Space Force would allegedly do and what NASA is already doing?
Let's consult the thoughtful analysis and plans that the president has left us. Oh, wait. This is a tweet says
Sorry, no.
Space Force.
so no listen so all the missile defense stuff and monitoring and surveillance, all that stuff, 32,000 people in the Air Force are committed
Oh,
to
wow.
space stuff. So I mean that's already
Okay.
happening. NASA is space exploration and whatever. So that's already happening. There's no clearly defined void that this would fill unless we're violating treaties that came in the 80s. Remember Reagan's Star Wars thing?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
after the dismantling of the USSR and all that, there was like an international treaty that was signed that space would never be militarized. Like it would, like no guns will be shot in space. Like this is like off limits for everybody, and every country signed on to this. So the Space Force, if it's defense and militarization, this is what the NASA people were telling us, would violate an international treaty that like has kind of knit the global community together. So they
That
don't know
doesn't
what the
sound
point
like
is.
President Trump. Why would he violate a treaty? It's ridiculous.
Okay, 2 things. They said they started Space Camp in 1981 there in Huntsville, and they said 880,000 people have done it. That's a ton.
That's a lot.
Oh
And
my gosh.
They had pictures on the wall, and they told stories about 10 alumni who became astronauts Like 10 actual people who did
can make
space
a first
camp.
They were
step.
like, they went to kids
children?
space camp or
Yeah,
grown up space
no,
camp?
as kids, and
Yeah,
then they ended
certainly.
up becoming.
I would say 10 out of 88,000 isn't like a great return, but I admire. It makes me. I'm really impressed by those 10.
Like,
But 10
because
out of-
hypothetically, you could say the like Little League baseball probably has a similar ratio. You know?
Yeah.
It's a better ratio.
Yeah.
But there may be a smaller amount. There's certainly a smaller amount of astronauts than there are professional baseball players.
Yeah.
Right.
So 10 out of maybe 30 astronauts or 50 astronauts, that's pretty impressive.
Hey, all right. Well, there's your space camp update. Normally we go right into slices, but this has been a segment unto its own. So let's take a quick break and come back. Stay tuned. Up next, slices. You're listening to the 1975. The song is It's Not Living If It's Not With You, capital Y. I think it's about Jesus. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard OK Will with Emotional. All right, it's time for Slices. A very highly anticipated Slices segment, maybe the most anticipated in the history of the Relevant Podcast. What do you have, Jesse?
All right. Well, I know that like the commander of the most exciting space flight the world's ever seen,
Yeah.
Candy Talk has been shoved away, not to be revisited. The Candy Talk segment of this podcast, where we sit down and we talk candy. I have good news. I'm bringing Candy Talk back for one day and one day only.
Oh, good.
Because we are. This is the Halloween episode. This is the Halloween episode.
Spooktacular, isn't that what you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Spooktacular. The Holy Ghost Wiener Roast Spooktacular Autumnal Festival.
This is
Trunk or treat.
the Relevant Podcast Harvest Party edition.
Trunk or treat.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. This listen.
We're just a little secular, so
It
we gotta
doesn't
have some
involve
Halloween in
candy
there.
and dressing up and costumes and things. Sure. Is it Halloween? No, we're not the devil. So, sorry, witchcraft, not infiltrating this pod.
This is a Harvest Festival
nice
spectacular
try,
only.
Yeah. Nice try, Satan. I'm not opening the door. Just like I'm not opening the door to
Not
trick or
giving you a
treaters.
foothold
Yeah.
by inviting you to talk about Halloween,
Yeah.
Satan.
You
The
will
OG,
get the
not
same.
today, Satan. Is the
You will,
Harvest
get,
Festival.
you will get the same cold rejection that kid in the Paw Patrol costume did when he knocked on my door and asked for candy. Satan. Coincidentally, that's what I call the kid. Satan.
Oh, gosh.
But this is a podcast. This is a slice about candy. All right. So, there are some really strong feelings about one particular candy that is primarily available this time of year. When kids go trick or treating, there's always like a good variety. Like I on the hierarchy, I feel like Snickers are probably number one, followed maybe by like Skittles. Are we?
Whoa.
I feel like we're probably on the
No.
same page about that.
I'm with you on
0%.
Snickers. You lost me a little bit on Skittles.
Wait, why aren't you talking about Reese's?
Butterfingers.
That's me, Annie.
M&Ms?
I think Snickers and Reese's are kind of neck
Babe
and
Ruth.
neck.
But you
Skittles are
agree?
Skittles are, I'm disappointed.
Okay.
No
I
way.
think Skittles are good.
Wow. What if they're
Cameron,
like
where
fancy?
are you on the trick or treat hierarchy? Like if Cohen brings his bag home and you want to snag 3 pieces, what are the 3 pieces you're grabbing?
You're doing the Snickers. You're doing a
Obviously.
Butterfinger. And
Yeah.
Starburst.
nah,
You're not doing a Reese's?
Yeah, I would do.
A Reese's
I would
cup?
do some Reese's.
Or
I would do
pieces?
some Reese's Pieces. Yeah.
Okay. Tyler?
Snickers for sure.
Yeah.
Reese's for sure. And
Pieces or full size?
Then Skittles just feels kind of weird. I do like Skittles, but then you're like, I don't need the fruit blast after
Okay.
my chocolate.
Skittles
I
is
feel
like
I
a
feel like a
throw-in
dark horse
movie
is Three
candy.
Musketeers. Every
Oh, I
time
love
I
Three
bite into one of those,
Musketeers,
I'm like
Jesse.
always
No,
fascinated
not
by the
about that.
inside of
You know
that.
what? You know
what
what?
is that?
I need
I'm
some
taking mine
crunch.
back. My favorite is Mr. Goodbar.
Yeah, I like those for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
What? Just the
Yeah.
do you mean the little
I mean,
the
if you
little
gotta
rectangle
choose-
ones?
Yeah,
The
yeah. It's
yellow
like
one.
it's basically a Hershey's bar with peanuts in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It's
I love it.
pretty delightful.
Surprisingly boring.
So
Oh, wow.
there The one candy that none of us mentioned was candy corn.
Yeah.
Candy corn has fallen out of favor in much of the country, but this year the site candystore.com, they've looked at candies that are bought disproportionately more than other candies during the Halloween time in every state in the country, and surprisingly, candy corn still holds the number one spot in several U.S. states.
Hold on. I'm saying this is
boy.
not, I don't think candy corn is a trick-or-treater candy. I think it's a bowl in the house during the Halloween
it's a
time.
harvest season candy.
And it's a you're walking by the coffee table, you grab a little handful and you keep going.
He's right.
Makes me sick thinking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Chandler. No one wants that in their house. Like, if you think about it, it's not even a cool decoration.
I agree
It
with
looks
that.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Do y'all know if you set them in a circle, that's why they're called candy corns, because they look like an ear of corn? Do you know this?
Make a little, a little like
They
corn.
look like kernels.
Oh, yeah, y'all are sorry. Y'all are like 3 years ahead of me. I just learned this.
Which the thing is, like, no one wants a candy vegetable, particularly a vegetable that no one really likes. Like, corn's okay. Like if it's like no one at a restaurant's like, hey, what do you want the side? Oh, can I get a side of corn? Like, they would just look at you like, I mean, no. Like, no one eats corn. What are you
talking about?
I agree with that.
What are you talking about?
The only great thing about
Captain
corn.
Chili's agrees with you. That should tell you
I
everything.
went to Chili's the other night and I traded the side of corn for something else.
Thank you.
I agree with Jesse.
The only cool thing there's only one good thing about corn, and that's those little utensils that look like half corns that have two spikes on the end that you jam
that you
into the
poke in either
corn.
end.
That's the only cool thing about eating corn is you
No.
get to use a utensil that
And
looks
this
like
is
corn
not
with
true.
spikes on it.
Popcorn is a beloved American snack. Everybody loves popcorn.
Man, and I love when
It's
you
a
can
filler.
really clean off the whole ear of corn and eat it like a typewriter, like in the commercials. I mean, in the cartoons. That's awesome.
Do they still make those? But a side note, do they still make those little corny, spiky things for the
Yeah,
side
for
of the
sure.
corn?
You can
I
get
feel
them
like
at
I haven't
Bed
seen
Bath
one
&
in
Beyond.
years. I haven't seen them in years.
It feels like a very dated thing,
get
but I
you
don't know
some
how
for
else. What
Christmas,
else would
Jesse.
you use to eat your
fingers.
ear of corn?
No. You
it's
need
too
this.
hot.
Do you not have the spiky things in your fancy new house? You don't have spiky things for your corn?
No, of course not.
I feel like
When you
I
serve
feel
your
like
guests corn on the cob, what are they going to do, Cameron?
Well, first
Eat
of
it
all,
with their
I haven't
fingers
had
like
any guests yet.
Neanderthals?
No, yes. Well, I mean, if
that's
we grill
animal
out,
behavior, we won't put up with it in that fancy new house.
Okay, here's what there was something like there was a whole generation of Americans, and this is grandparents' age, that when they purchased a home, they purchased three things
That's
because they
right,
were in
go.
every grandparent's
I
home.
can't wait. 3 things.
One of those three things is is the corn holders, right?
Sure.
Every
Sure.
grandparent's house had the corn holders.
Yes.
right.
Every grandparent's house had a cushioned toilet seat that,
Yeah.
it was very on the fence. Like, I don't know when those went out of vogue, but it couldn't have been soon enough. I mean, it's not a great, the more you think about the concept of a cushioned toilet seat, the
don't
more
make us do
disturbing
that.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. But every grandparent's house had one bathroom at least with a cushioned toilet seat.
Usually the guest bath, the half bath with the fancy soaps.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
With decorative soaps. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of decorative soaps. The third is like one of those tins of butter cookies that now hold, various things from the house. Loose change, a button sewing kit. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
The tin.
Wires.
Yeah, wires. That every grandparent's house.
An
That's
old
just
battery.
aside.
But
That's
those
just an
shortbread
aside.
cookies that were originally in them are dope. Those are
Oh,
so
yeah.
good.
Super good. Okay. That's an aside. All right. Who wants to guess? All right. I want to hear guesses of what states still buy gross candy corn.
In enough quantities to dwarf all the other candy.
I'm going Iowa.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. One of those. Both of those are wrong.
I'm gonna go South Carolina.
Ooh.
South Carolina. I'm sorry. South Carolina, that's a good state. They got Skittles as their number one.
I mean, I'm gonna go shocker, California.
California is Skittles country.
What?
Skittles
country too?
Wow.
Ohio.
No, Ohio.
Wow, this is going to be a long time for Florida.
Okay.
Are you gonna go? Florida?
hold on, Cameron, did you say Iowa?
I did. Yeah.
You are right. They it narrowly beat out M&M's though.
I do love those little bags of M&Ms, those fun size. Those are
Yeah,
those
exactly.
are
It's gotta
perfect.
be
11
boring
M&Ms is
states.
exactly as many as I want.
I mean, I'm thinking that it's all those corn states in the Midwest.
But he said
Nebraska,
no to
Iowa,
Nebraska.
Kansas, the Dakotas.
The flatlands of Colorado, where it's just like we got to
Illinois
support
feels like
our
I bet
people.
they have a lot of candy corns in Illinois.
Okay, here it is. It's Iowa, Michigan,
Nope.
Idaho, Nevada, Alabama.
Alabama.
You wouldn't think
Dark
so.
horse. No.
Yeah.
No,
I
I'm thinking
will-
Alabama is for sure Milky Way. I don't know. I'm surprised. That would have been my first go-to for Alabama.
Tennessee has a pretty bad one too.
Oh, boy.
Tootsie Roll Pops.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
ashamed of us.
Not a good look.
It's not a. It's a Tootsie
Tyler,
Roll
we're
Pop. It's
changing it
speaking
this
of
year. We're
grandparents'
changing
house.
it this year.
It's not. I mean, it's not. I'm not contributing to any of this. I buy Reese. The one I buy the most is Reese's.
For sure. Samesies.
The Reese's Cups or Reese's Pieces?
You know, I'm kind of
Yes.
into. They got a new one now where they put little Reese's minis into the Reese's cup.
Don't
So
I
you get
know
like
it?
a double. It's pretty good.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
It's ruined. It's
So, Jesse, question: are they talking packages or are they talking items? Because you're talking like the Tootsie Roll Pops. You're going to get like
this is
100.
measured in poundage.
Poundage.
Poundage is the unit here.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my
So-
gosh, in
makes-
pounds.
That makes
Yeah.
sense with your original theory that you're talking about the bowl of candy corn that's out at grandma's
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
It's out at the church potluck.
You're
like
buying it
people
in
are just
bulk.
digging in by
I
the
mean,
handful.
here at the
They're buying
church where I
feed
at
bag
my
size.
office, there is
Yeah.
a full bowl of candy corns and candy pumpkins, which let's go there for a minute because candy pumpkins are so much better than candy corns.
They are. I don't know why. They're similar in flavor.
It's the
but for
exact
some-
same flavor in different
but
form.
Something about
I don't
the
care.
form makes them
I don't
better.
care. Something about the shape. It's
Well,
better.
because
I
it
rebuke them
doesn't-
both in the name of Jesus. I
you?
think that being in a church, I'm sorry, I can't.
I expected some weird.
As a friend and a Christian, I can't get behind this. I'm sorry.
Florida came
Christian.
through with like a solid choice, the Snickers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well
Yeah,
done,
respect
Florida.
that.
Same.
Virginia, I'm kind of proud of this. 2 hot tamales ranked
Oh,
in number
yeah.
one.
Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
A few
Really?
100,000 pounds of hot tamales were
Man,
buying.
that and y'all's Mountain Dews. I bet y'all are keeping the country
That makes
together.
sense.
So
Yeah, that does feel on brand, doesn't it? Wait, what's Georgia? That's where I'm from.
Georgia is. Hang on.
Hey, how about
you
that
know,
Georgia
this
Florida
one-
game? By the way, Cameron
Okay,
Strang.
this is Georgia, Annie. I don't know about this. This is the top 3. Number 1, Jolly
Yeah.
Ranchers. Number
Yeah.
2, Swedish Fish.
Yeah, come on,
no.
Georgia. I see you.
Number
shopping at
3,
Swedish
Hershey's Kisses.
Oh, that's
I
bizarre.
don't feel great about any
We're a
of those.
strange people group, but I like us. It's
I
fine.
feel very poorly about every one of those.
Yeah,
you
same,
know?
same.
In a normal
Hershey's
out
Kisses,
in
oh,
God's
man.
country, none of those rank. Those
No.
are all unranked.
Swedish fish. Who even gives those on? How do you give those? Single? You just throw a fish at a person? How do you give those at Halloween?
Probably a bowl situation as
In
well.
Georgia, they just have raw bags. They just have leaf bags full of unwrapped candy. You just reach your hand in there and
You just stick your
stick your
paw in
hand
there
there.
and pull out a pound of Swedish fish.
yeah, exactly. All Swedish fish. Come on.
All right. What do you have, Annie?
Oh,
Well,
There
listen.
we go.
Speaking of, listen. Don't.
Can't wait
don't
to hear
stress me
this.
out. Jesse. The promise is you have to play along if you like it. You can't. Okay.
You can't
Burger-
sandbag it.
I'm not. I'm going to play honestly. Okay.
Okay. So, Spooktacular. Burger King has released
Stop.
a new.
Get out. Get out of here. No. I don't believe it.
You are dressing like a monster for Halloween today. So here's the real slice. Burger King has a new Halloween nightmare burger. Let me tell you what it is. It is a green bun, a bun that they have dyed really green, a 1/4 pound beef patty, a fried chicken fillet on top of that, melted American cheese, bacon and onion and mayonnaise on a green bun, right? And it's called a nightmare hamburger. And they actually tested and they had 100 people eat it. And of those, over a 10-night study, and you guys, their nightmares actually increased 3.5 times from eating that hamburger. That can't be real, right?
I would be curious to know if that would happen just with Burger King in general.
Yeah, because you know what it says, Tyler?
Do they have a control group who just ate the normal? I don't know.
It says that it is the combo. What caused the nightmares is the combo of protein and cheeses that are particularly used. I was like, that could be any burger. That's not just the green bun.
Yeah, I was going to
So
say
is that like why people say they get nightmares after eating pizza late at night?
Right.
Right.
protein cheeses, like we have sausage pizza or something. I don't ever have nightmares. I don't have dreams. I mean, I know everybody supposedly does. I just don't remember them. But.
Oh, I have them all the time, and they are weird, especially when I eat Burger
Jesse,
King.
do you have nightmares? Because you also have migraines. I wonder if are those tied, you think?
Could be.
Are
Could
you eating
be.
a lot
I'll
of
say this.
nightmare burgers from Burger King?
There's a lot going on between these ears that I'm sure science would love to dig into, but off limits. Off limits. Running hot up there. You know, who knows what's going on? You know?
Jesse and I travel together a lot and share rooms usually, and I can confirm the night terrors.
Yeah. It's usually
No,
a couple
not.
times
Annie, I'm
uninterrupted
joking.
of just waking up with a blood curdling
Wait, Cameron,
scream.
are you joking?
Yeah, I was just.
Oh, I was like, oh my gosh, does he like scream?
Yeah, anyone who I'm in a house with, I tell them at any point in the night, you may hear me scream, and I just need you to ignore it, and it'll eventually stop. I'm gonna be screaming, "Come help me! Come help me! Come help me!" But if you come, I might accidentally murder you in my sleep. Just leave me alone. Let it be. It's a very strange condition. Oh, by the way, whatever you do not feed me Burger King. Your lives will be in danger.
Can you imagine signing up to do that 10-night study? I mean, 10 nights in a row, you have to eat the green nightmare burger and then register your nightmares.
Yeah, I saw a documentary about this. It's called Super Size Me, where you have to eat.
Right.
Exactly. Crazy. That's crazy.
When I was volunteering at a church, and me and a couple friends and one guy we did not know all stayed in the same room at this church. And we've been told that this guy had some night terrors, so just be careful about that. Night one, but total of 3 nights.
Wait,
night
can
one.
you explain to me why you were volunteering at a church and you had to sleep there? It's like a mission trip?
It's a whole long story. Sure,
Okay,
mission
all
trip.
right. Oh gosh, I bet that's a great story.
Middle of the night, kid. None of us know this kid. Middle of the night, wakes us all up, screaming, "Sherman! No! Sherman!
No!"
Civil War night terror. Civil War. Wow. Sherman's march through Atlanta. That was it.
Next morning, he's kind of an odd kid. I don't want to embarrass the guy. I was like, "Hey, do you know anybody named Sherman?" Sherman. And I didn't want to get into. I didn't want to get into it. I didn't want to embarrass him. He doesn't know anybody. Didn't want to say like, "Well, you were screaming his name last night." That's not. That feels very personal.
Yeah,
it happened the next 2 nights. The exact same thing. He screamed Sherman in the middle of the night, claiming he didn't know who this Sherman person was. That's my only experience with night terrors. It was somebody else's. Telltale heart.
The 4th day, he goes, "You know what? Come to mention it, it does ring a bell. You know what? Sherman's the name of that guy I murdered in my sleep that one time."
Sherman's name. I think
that was
Sherman. He works at Burger King.
Oh,
Gave me that burger.
All right. What do you have, Tyler?
Well, I should preface this by saying that Jesse hit me up today and he was like, "Hey, do you have a slice yet?" And I was like, "I haven't picked one out yet." And he was like, "Here, just take this one." So this is an assigned. This is like Jesse's slice, actually, that he has gifted to me.
So you're saying this, you're hedging your bets, like in case this is a
If you guys don't like this,
you're making me very nervous about the delivery.
Yeah.
This is a cast up. Although I did read this earlier today, and it caught me by surprise because I saw this report going around, and it's just not what I would have expected, Jesse. I guess it's just very counterintuitive to what I would have thought.
Yeah.
So it turns out that today marks it's the 50th anniversary of the Motion Picture Association of America, which is the organization that is in charge of giving ratings to movies. They see the movie and they pick the G, PG, or R. 1984, they added PG-13 to the list. Well, I was very surprised by, which I did not see coming at all, is that in the past 50 years, there's been 29,790 movies graded by the MPAA since its founding 50 years ago. Of those, the surprisingly big majority, 17,200, the surprisingly big majority,
that's more than half,
have been rated R.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought for sure you were going to say PG.
I would have guessed PG or PG-13 for sure, because that's where the money, the entire world can come see these movies. If you have an R-rated movie, you're cutting off, like, I mean, I know people I know teenagers go see R-rated movies, but theoretically you're cutting off like a huge part of the movie going public.
Yeah.
Right. That's really surprising.
again, like I felt like it would be reverse order in
I did too.
popularity.
Because works out. The next biggest one is PG is next with only 5,000. Then it's PG-13, just a little bit less, 4,900, and G is actually the lowest, which you think, like, again, just thinking about it theoretically, you would think that G would have the biggest market. The whole family goes to see the G and PG movies together.
The other thing too is not only is there more R-rated movies than anything, there's more than double the R-rated movies in the other categories. You know, more than every other movie combined, they're rated R.
And that's from the beginning, right? Because I feel like the ratings have changed as I've grown up. And
I think so. It says this has been consistent across all the years.
Right.
This has been, it's been, so there hasn't been like a huge surge in R-rated movies in the 80s or anything like that, but it's been like this very consistently. I was just very, I'm not sure why. I mean, I know that like this isn't me bashing on R-rated movies. I know that there's like some movies that the R rating serves them well because they can deal with content you can't make Shawshank Redemption a kid's movie. I understand that.
Right.
But I am surprised that it's 17,000, that it's over 50%.
And this isn't me trying to sound like, you know, holier than thou, but I honestly can't remember the last R-rated movie I saw in the theater. Like, I was trying to think, like...
Yeah, that's kind of true.
You know, like, I don't know the last one I've purchased a ticket for.
Was Dunkirk rated R? Probably.
I think it was 13.
Yeah, I think that was 13.
I know, but didn't you watch that on a plane, Jesse? Oh, no, that was you, Cameron. You got to watch the whole series of World War II films.
Yeah.
Man, do y'all have I think the problem with watching R-rated movies in the theater is that you just can't be sure if you don't do any research, you can't be sure what the R is about.
Yeah.
Right?
They usually give you those little teasers, and it's usually very vague. It's like adult content. It's like, well, that doesn't help me.
Yeah, adult situations. In an R-rated movie, you don't say. There are situations.
That's right.
Have you guys ever been carded for going into a movie? Like, have they ever asked to see Eddie?
No, I haven't.
Have you, Tyler?
Even when I was like sneaking, I feel like because all movie theater employees are like 15, you know? So even when I was like 16 and buying a ticket to an R-rated movie, they did not care. Like literally they just let you in. You know, I've never seen anyone get carded in the movies before, you know? Is it illegal? Is it illegal to sell an R-rated ticket to, you know what I mean? Or is it just like, you shouldn't do that?
I think so.
No,
I think you shouldn't. I think PG-13 is the shouldn't. Like, well, you shouldn't take an 11-year-old in, but we're not going to. You're not going to go to jail for it.
Yeah.
But I think there's an actual something on the books about being under 17 and going into an R-rated movie.
And like NC-17, does that even go into a theater?
No, you can. If you're with a parent or guardian, you can see anything.
Really?
Except NC-17, you can't. But you just can't buy a ticket. You have to be with a parent or guardian. So
they can, honestly, most people who are in like, you're right. The people who work in movie theaters, they do not. You could murder somebody in front of them and they wouldn't care. It just seems like they are just there to
don't make a big cheese mess over at the nacho stand.
That's right. Or don't sit in a seat that isn't your seat if you have one of those assigned ones. That's where you've really crossed the line.
Considering like the Jason Bourne lengths I went to try to sneak like my own candy into movie theaters when I was a kid. When everybody knows full well you could just bring your McDonald's, you could wheel in a buffet tray
table. Do y'all know my favorite thing to take in my purse to a movie theater? Have we talked about this?
No.
A burrito from Taco Bell. It's right across the street from the movie theater. You know, over here, Huckabee, the 100 Oaks one.
Oh, yeah.
There's that. Man, so my roommate and I used to go and do a little swing through Taco Bell, stick a burrito in our purse.
Hey, I have smuggled a tremendous amount of food into movie theaters. Like, and I don't just go candy.
Without a purse, how do y'all do it? Or I guess in Dana's purse, huh?
I mean, I've done it with other, guy friends. I just get creative, like, an interesting way I'm holding my jacket or something,
Right.
Little do they know there's a whole Boston Market meal under there.
There's an entire rotisserie chicken.
I'm talking, I go for the challenge. Man. I don't even like Boston Market. Like, I feel like you should only order the full chicken. If I'm going to the movies, I like, give me a challenge here. Don't give me something that I can cram in a paper bag and put
smell
under my
like
shirt.
Thanksgiving as you're walking in.
But Like, I want
they just let it be.
I need a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do it because I like the food. I want like, basically it's like a reverse bank heist. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sneak something out. I'm trying to sneak something in, and I want to see the level of my skill. And so I'll just pick the hardest places possible.
Cameron, you're not commenting at all. Do you not sneak things into movies, or do you feel guilty?
I don't think I've ever done it.
I don't think I.
What? The Strang boys are
playing
so
by the rules over there.
honest.
Little rule followers. You feel better
Your
than
dad
us?
should write a book about your family.
You had to pay $20 for popcorn.
I just don't plan ahead like that. You guys are planners. I'm like walking in and then I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I'll get something. You know, like I don't like think like, oh, tonight I need to swing by 7-Eleven on the way to the movie theater. You know,
I have smuggled in and eaten an entire watermelon during Inception. And it was opening night, full of people. Perfect crime.
Perfect crime. Can you imagine if you looked over and the guy next to you was cutting open a watermelon? I mean, I cannot imagine. Jesse, would you bring your own melon baller and just make little balls the whole movie?
I mean, you know, my biggest feat was, again, if I'm really going up to, if I really want to challenge myself, the time I brought a camping stove and and a bunch of raw poultry, and did a little roast chicken.
Just back there grilling.
Yeah, it was quite the move. Quite the move. So,
all right. Well, that'll do it for Slices. Good job, Annie.
Thanks,
that was
everybody.
great, Annie.
All right.
Cool. Very good.
Stay tuned. Up next, Dr. Eric Mason joins us. You're listening to Bob Moses. The song is Back Down. Dr. Eric Mason is a church planner, pastor, popular speaker, and author of the new book, Woke Church, an urgent call for Christians in America to confront racism and injustice. Tyler recently spoke with Dr. Mason about how the Bible outlines ways that Christians should address important issues of the day and enact change in their communities.
This was this conversation. It's one of those things where you start to think that you're like, I've got a pretty good handle on what it looks like for Christians to engage culture in meaningful and important ways, talk about sensitive issues, and then you talk to somebody as intelligent as Dr. Mason about these things, and I realized like how little I actually know. I was so grateful. You always have to say this, but it's very, very true in this case. I was so grateful for this conversation. It changed my opinion on things that I already thought I had a pretty well-formed opinion on.
Did it really?
Yeah,
Wow.
It's great.
yeah, he's a brilliant guy.
Right.
Here we go. Well, here is part of our conversation with Dr. Eric Mason.
Can you give me sort of the like the origin story of the book? Like, when did you first start to get the idea that this was the book you wanted to write?
Yeah, so ended up, a few years back when, I guess it was around 2012, when everything started going down in the media with the killings of unarmed African Americans, and then seeing the divide over the issue in the body of Christ, particularly on social media and other outlets. It was really, really confusing to me because I was like, man, this seems like cut and dry. But and then people would say, look for the facts. And then on one side, and then it'd be like, man, but you didn't ask for the facts on this other stuff. But it seems like when it comes to these things, you ask for facts and so forth and so on. And then 2 years later, a string of those issues started happening, and then I ended up doing a series in 2016 on the topic Woke Church, and I did like a 4 to 6 week series. I can't remember how many weeks it was. And once we did that, people were like in my church and friends across the country like, man, you should consider writing a book on this. And we just kind of kept the idea of Woke Church just going, just in the sense of activism we were doing in the community to serve people through the gospel. It's interesting. I just, and so once you started interacting with people on the street, asking questions cross-ethnically on the college campus and in our neighborhood, and it was obvious that this issue was a huge issue, even to the people we were ministering to.
Yeah.
And then we ended up building a relationship with the police department in our community. But then, long story short, we started doing a series, and people were like, you really need to write on this. And so I ended up just sitting down, writing the book, and the rest is sort of history. So, yeah.
It might be helpful because I feel like the word woke has kind of come to mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, especially on social media. So maybe it might be helpful for the terms, just for this discussion, to know, what do you mean when you use the word woke, especially in the context of a church?
Yeah, I think there's so many words that we redeem. I mean, even when you look at, how Christians use business books for church organizational models. Yeah. So when you look at the book, The Great People Hedgehog Principle isn't in the Bible, but the Hedgehog Principle represents, what is your central thing that's your one issue thing that you're about, that you're going to build everything around. And we can say, we can redeem the principle of the hedgehog principle. I don't know if I use hedgehog principle. So I think that so when I look at the word woke is really a young word that's morphed multiple times. So you had, Pan-Africanists who were actually black Christians. One of them was Alexander Crummell, which was the mentor of W.E.B. Du Bois, the modern day father of sociology. And originally Pan-Africanism was developed by Christians of African descent to help spread the gospel among and engage and help build the needs of the African diaspora globally, who were living under oppression and dealing with a lot of different issues. So W.E.B. Du Bois, when he wrote his book Souls of Black Folk, did a section on Alexander Crummell. And when he did the section on Alexander Crummell, he also did a section called the Double Consciousness Theory, which he developed, talking about Black awareness in white world, of how they're viewed, and then how they view themselves in light of how they're viewed by whites. And so that was called consciousness. And so what ended up happening, there's nothing mysterious about it. It's basically general revelation. I mean, general revelation in Romans 1 is looking at creation, and based on everybody being born in the image of God is defaced but not erased. We have the ability to notice things, build different things, but we also should allow the invisible attributes of concrete and abstract ideas, concepts, and nature to point us to the Lord. And so the word woke for me is huge, because the Bible says in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14, it says, awake, sleeper, and rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. Yeah. And one of the things that I see is Christians are supposed to be the wokest people in the world. And so because Christ awakens us to all of the realities, both in natural and special revelation. So when you look at the word woke for me is a natural revelation form, where you don't have to be a Christian to know justice needs to be done in an area. If somebody's murdered, a person needs to serve justice for that. If someone breaks the law, you don't have to be a Christian to understand justice. I think, however, what Christianity does is it gives and broadens the bandwidth of the rules of what is just, based on the character of God and based on the word of God. And so we upgrade that to special revelation. And I believe wokeness, it can point to the invisible attributes of God as one who is empowered through his omnipotence to awaken a sleeper and help us to rise from the dead, so Christ can shine on us, and we'll care about everything comprehensively, from justice, everything from poverty, everything from economics, sociology, all of those things. We're able to open up. And I think Christians, when they're aware from a contextual standpoint, when we do missions, we don't go over there and just start proclaiming the gospel. We understand, we get to contextually know a particular place. Even a translator doesn't just go and start translating. No, he has to learn the language. And if that country or a village doesn't have a phonetic system, they develop a phonetic system in order to teach them their own language in a written format, in order that when he writes the Bible in their language, they're able to understand it by reading it, not just hearing it.
When it comes to Christians, we'll say in this country, what have you found to be sort of this may be an impossible question, you tell me. What have you found to be sort of the central thing that keeps us from the wokeness that you're talking about? We talk about being asleep. The Bible talks about being asleep. But when you start looking at that practically, tangibly, what is the holdup? What's the blockade?
I think one of the things in America is we learn history from a white Western perspective and from a patriotic, triumphalistic perspective. So we don't get a holistic history. We get the history that people want us to have. A huge part of our history is slavery. If you have kids or anybody has kids, you can go into some of your kids' history books and civics books, and they talk very little about slavery and don't really talk clearly about the nature, the brutality, the kidnapping. It almost seems like we were willing immigrants that became indentured servants that helped people in their homes. But we know from history that it was much more of an atrocity than that, particularly when you read memoirs like Frederick Douglass's memoir on his experience as a slave in Maryland to the South and that type of thing. So I think the way we're educated does a disservice to our ability to be on one accord narrative-wise so that we can know where our problems come from as a Christian and human family.
Do you think that it seems to me like there are some, we'll call them woke white pastors, or there may be a kind of like trying to be woke white pastors. They care, they understand that racism is still a real thing in 2018, 2019 in America, and they want to do something, but they don't really know. They're looking at their church and they see that it's all white people out there staring back at them, and they're kind of wondering, what can I do? Like, how can I be part of the solution instead of part of the problem?
Yeah, I think one of the places to start. One of the things in my book, Woke Church, starts with is it talks with awareness, and so we talk about the idea of awareness. This is now getting on the page of saying, man, let me become aware of what's going on and find ways, whether it's through media, whether it's through friendships, whether it's through conferences, whether it's through relationships. I think relationship is the best way. If you know that possibility, now if you're in North or South Dakota or some rural place in Nebraska or Montana, that's going to be a little bit hard for you. But I think that from a relational standpoint, but I think when you're talking about being aware and biblically aware and understanding what the Bible says about justice, what the Bible says about us being supposed to be a holy family, what the Bible says about being comprehensively aware, and then going to from awareness to acknowledgement. I think there has to be an acknowledgement that something is wrong and that there is a massive rift that was initiated by white in this country that still has effects to this day. You know, when I do counseling, it's impossible for me to act like when I sit in front of a person and they bring in their problems to me. One of the things first thing is I ask them is, do they know Jesus as their Savior? Second question is, walk me through your family history, your mom and dad, because usually their issues that they're dealing with in front of me comes from a legacy of how they were nurtured in the world through family, through the absence of father, connection of father, absence of mother, connection of mother, good, bad, ugly, or whoever they were raised by guardian-wise. And no counselor, no pastor cross-ethnically wouldn't say that family history has no connection to the present problems that a person would have. So how can people try to erase race history in America and how blacks have been treated by whites in this country and acting like we can skip over all of our history and not go through the spiritual counseling session that God would have us go through in order for us to be on the same page to begin to dealing with issues? And I can't tell you, the more people are aware of their family history, the more they know what the gospel needs to be applied to. And so when you look at the reality of applying the gospel to different areas where you need to be awakened in different areas of your life, it's just very, very important. And so you go from acknowledgement now to accountability. It's not enough to just say, okay, I'm aware that this is going on and I've acknowledged that it's wrong and I agree. Now it's time to be held accountable to the church being a prophetic voice, and then developing a vision for change in some particular area of where you can put your foot in as a believer into an area of systemic injustice in our country. And then from there, and that's why iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens the other. Then you go from there, you know, to be active. So being active, you know, I love Titus 3:14. It says, teach our people to learn to meet pressing needs in order that they may not be found unfruitful. And one of the things that you see in verse 1 or 2, it talks about serving the city and the civic authorities, which lets you know that even in the Bible, even on the island of Crete where all the churches were, Paul was calling Titus to encourage the people of God in that city to serve their city and to serve lost people in the city in very practical ways that are connected to the system of this city. Then he goes down and calls God a philanthropist. He used the Greek word philanthropeo to talk about God. Well, we got our word philanthropist from. That means lover of men. And he talks about regeneration of the gospel is what God's philanthropy for men motivated him to save us. And then it says, out of that, as a reflection of what God did for us, let's teach our people to meet pressing needs in order that they may not be found unfruitful. So the gospel, by application, should motivate us to serve for systemic change of both the soul and the city. And so I think that's very, very important, theologically, biblically, sociologically, politically, and practically, as the church begins to work through a full body plan to bring the already present kingdom, but not yet fully revealed kingdom, that Jesus Christ will end up coming back, and he will be the just ruler, and he will demolish all systems that don't reflect him. He'll destroy all of those systems and rebuild the infrastructure of every system in the world, and create, and those through awards will become his vice regents, ruling the nations throughout the globe. And so I think that we're supposed to be going towards that reality by not saying, let me wait till Jesus comes, but let me live righteously, godly in this present age, as Titus 2:11 says.
That was Dr. Eric Mason. Make sure to check out his new book, Woke Church. Stay tuned. Up next, it's our new issue preview. Listening to Elle King. The song is Baby Outlaw. That's Jesse's nickname. Okay, well, as we do 6 times a year, we like to bring you behind the scenes on the new issue of Relevant. The new issue is releasing this week, the November-December issue. It is our 96th issue. Our 100th issue, I think, is going to be in, this coming summer. It's pretty cool. 96 issues. Lauren Daigle is the cover. We are very excited about that. We had some internal debates about who the cover would end up being, because we also have an incredible piece with Mark Wahlberg talking about faith. And so it came to blows, and Lauren ended up being the cover choice.
Can I say?
Yeah,
it was fair. I lost fair and square.
Well,
I brought my A game. I fought hard. I don't regret anything that I did in the match.
Well, just so you know, Annie stepped aside. She wasn't involved in the issue, so she stepped aside for this segment. She'll be back for the next segment, by the way.
But Lauren Daigle, she's not only like blowing up right now. She was on Ellen this past week. I don't know if you guys saw that, but incredible performance. Her album debuted, I think, number 3 in the on the Billboard Top 100. She's a legit rising pop star right now, and her story is really great. A lot of people know her from her days as, a worship leader. Cameron, you and I saw her live a couple of years ago opening for like Hillsong, And for her, she kind of talks about, I don't want to give too much of the story away, but, she went through a time where she kind of walked away from it for a little while.
Well, she got burned out. She got swept up for her debut album. Yeah. The story gets into this, sold, 1 million units and then all the tours and everything that happened. And she just kind of burned out and walked away for a year. And didn't know when she would come back or if she would come back. Yeah. And the story, she really opens up about that journey and kind of, what the Lord did and then what led to this new album. It's fascinating. And honestly, that was why she ended up being the cover, because it's such a unique story and such a unique, I don't know, it just felt very us, you know? And so we made the call that she's going to be the cover. And beautiful imagery by Jeremy Cowart. And it's a fantastic piece. Don't want to miss that. Then Tyler, you got the chance to talk to Mark Wahlberg, which I love the opening thing from y'all's interview. And I know we said it on the podcast where you guys talked in the very early afternoon, and he said that he was a little tired because he's been up since 2:30 that morning. And
it was confirmation of, because we'd been talking about it on the podcast about the insane day-to-day schedule that Mark Wahlberg has, which we now have confirmed from the man himself. He was so tired. He was so audibly tired that at first I was a little worried that he was going to fall asleep mid-interview. But honestly, once we started talking about his faith, about the ways that he practices his faith, he snapped wide awake. The interview really turned a corner once we got off some of the early banter and into the actual discussion of the way that he leads his Christian life. So I loved that interview, and I'm excited for y'all to read it.
Yeah, it's a great piece. How often do you get the chance to talk to a true Hollywood A-lister and they open up about faith and prayer and their relationship with
it kind of goes the opposite direction, where they get a little more cautious when you get into the territory of faith because they want to be careful. But with Wahlberg, it was definitely it was a very rewarding subject to talk about with him.
That's incredible. We won't get deep into a ton of the content. We want you to go experience it and read it yourself. But a few of the highlights that stand out on the culture side. Lovely, the band was featured. Breakout artist this year. Here's a clip of one of their singles.
I like that you're broken like me. Maybe that makes me a fool. I like that you're lonely like me. I could be lonely with you.
Yeah, it was super fun to talk to them just because, they are, their single, is like a top 40 hit. And, but the thing with those guys is, they're kind of a young band and young artists, and they think all the success, the commercial success they've had is cool, but they are just genuine and authentic guys and write about really personal stuff like dealing with anxiety and emotional health. And, talking to them, that's what they're really excited about, is that people can connect with kind of the deeper message of their music.
Yeah. We also talked to St. Paul and the Broken Bones, one of our favorite kind of retro indie groups. They have a new album out as well. You know what? Let's play it. It's like Southern soul, gospel R&B influenced. It's a great album. It's a time of year people are talking about or thinking about, the holidays and the deeper meaning of the holidays and how to do Christmas especially differently. We have a feature about Advent, how to, the Advent season that we're entering. And we also have a Christmas gift guide. Our team went through and found kind of thoughtful, cool gifts that have some sort of redemptive element to them. They give back, or it's not just materialism, it's stewardship, and but they're thoughtful and creative gifts. So if you're looking for any advice on what to get people in your life, we have a great guide for that. It's also Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving and the holidays and Christmas is the time of year you got to fly home, and you gotta be at the dinner table with the crazy uncle who's telling you the conspiracy theories and so we have the 6 ways to have the most awkward family meal ever.
That's right. I mean, because the problem is a lot of people say the holidays are unforgettable. Let's be honest. They all blur together. You know what doesn't blur together? That one time that you made everyone at the table feel incredibly uncomfortable for over an hour. That's what our gift to you this year is, to create a truly unforgettable Thanksgiving meal this year.
On the more substantive side of things, we talk about kind of the church's Me Too moment that's happening right now. We also look at the issue of domestic hunger. It's time of year. There's a lot of people are giving to food pantries and food banks. We look at the issue of why are there millions of people going hungry? It's insane. And we go inside the kind of the new charismatic movement. We always like to cover what God's doing in this generation. And, with Bethel and, Jesus Culture and Hillsong kind of leading the charge of what part of the move of God that's booming right now, or, the church that's booming right now. It's more the charismatic side of things, not even looking globally. If you're going globally, the rise of the charismatic movement in Latin America and China is, that's the part of the church that's growing. But here in the U.S. as well, the only denomination that's growing is in the last 20 years is the Assemblies of God. So it seems like there's this like resurgence of this charismatic movement, but it looks a little different than it did in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. So we talked to a lot of the leaders in that movement, Jen Johnson and Banning Liebscher, and a lot of others.
Working on that piece was there's so many threads you can go down with that one. We've talked a lot on here, and we had a lot of internal discussions, the three of us, about what a wide ranging movement that's been over the past number of decades, almost a full century, but finding the thread that really intrigued us, that was really exciting for me about the future of the new charismatic movement, is how outward focused it's getting. I don't want to give away too much of it, but there's been so much conversation around what happens in the service. Well, what we found is that a lot of these churches are way more interested about what's happening outside of the service with works they're doing in their communities. That is an interesting part of the story that you don't hear very much, and it was really fun to talk to people about it.
Yeah, growing up in the charismatic church, a lot of, and those of us, in that movement would say, like, a lot of the focus theologically or experientially was about kind of you encountering God, or what you could get, or the manifestations of the Holy Spirit that you experienced and all that. And it seems like this new shift is that it's more of a conduit, like the Holy Spirit fills fills you up so you can pour out. And there's a lot more emphasis on justice and doing, and that frankly wasn't the case back in the in previous eras of that movement. It's interesting seeing the shift. There's a lot more in the issue. We talk about, we talk to Insecure's Yvonne Orji. We talk about, all the stuff that's happening now in culture, our generation, the declining divorce rate. There's a lot of stuff. It's a packed issue. Yeah. Don't miss it. The November-December issue of Relevant is out now. It's on newsstands nationwide. Most Barnes and Nobles are carrying it, as well as other independent bookstores. If your favorite bookstore doesn't have it, ask for it. It helps it get out there. Also, if you want to view it online, you can see a digital replica of the print edition on our website, relevantmagazine.com. And if you want to support us, subscribe. You can subscribe now. There's a great deal going on at the website. Also, Christmas gift idea. The gift that keeps on giving. We're doing a special gift subscription price right now. I think you can give a year of Relevant for only $14.99 at relevantmagazine.com/give.
It's a deal.
Little holiday thing. There you go. All right. Great job, guys. Seriously, tell the whole team. It was incredible. Everybody put together an amazing issue. One of our favorites yet. Love it. Love the pieces. Good job.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right. Go check it out, everyone. Stay tuned. Up next, it's time for Ask Jesse. And Annie comes back. You're listening to Karma Rhythm. The song is 19. Okay, it is time for
Ask Jesse.
It's time for Ask Jesse, our segment where you guys send us your life conundrums, and our very own Jesse Carey helps you solve them.
Mm-hmm.
Our flight commander, if you will.
That's right. I will be the flight commander of your life. And if your payload doors get open, don't worry. At the end of the day, you'll be sitting right in the middle of that runway.
Man, that's such a deep analogy.
Don't worry about what the haters, your own crew, your own family, your own friends say. You got this under control.
Jesse, Destiny Sue tweeted us at Relevant Podcast, and she says, my sister, brothers, and parents' homes are in an area off a state road located between two towns. Neither town has chosen to take ownership of the area. How would my family go about claiming that area as their own sovereign land?
Oh, what a fantastic question.
That is not appropriate for Jesse to answer.
I mean, from my understanding, all you really need is to plant a flag. And so all you need is flag. So here's my thing to you. It needs to be fierce. It needs to be a fierce looking flag, like one of the cool flags that's like not even a rectangle, that like has two triangles cut out. You ever see a map of flags in some countries are like our flag isn't even going to be a flag. It's just going to be like some cool banner. You need to go, and it needs to be it's got to have like, you know what would be great? A bear. Put the world's fattest bear on there. Something ferocious. We'll find a spot for that
California
guy.
flag already.
We'll find a spot for that guy. But something that like, that's a big bear on that flag. I don't want to mess with that family. It sounds too like no one really cares about this land. Like in my mind, if nothing's there and no one claims it, it's probably because no one wants it. It's probably like a fly ash depository or something. So I'd be pretty cautious moving in there. But again, I don't really care. I don't really pay too much mind to the health department. So I think you're good. Just plant the flag and look out to see if it's like a waste zone or something.
There you go. Well, Claire tweeted us. She says, I'm a pilot. This is good for your space camp experience. She says, I'm a pilot working on becoming a flight instructor.
Okay.
What are the most important things I need to teach the future pilots of America?
Wow.
This
that
is
seems
easy.
really spot
This is
on,
easy.
actually.
Here's what you do. Pull out a necktie, wrap it around their eyes, and say, you can land it. Now land it, and I will be your eyes. So, and then you just walk away and you see if they can actually land a plane blindfolded. Because here's the thing, like, what kind of student it does well that I would fly with? Probably a student that got the proper training, can land a plane. You know what student I would rather fly with? One that landed blindfolded. And so,
You're not wrong.
I think the answer is key. I think you want to endanger the lives of the students for the betterment of the career by blindfolding them while landing. And then, like you said, you say, don't worry, I will be your eyes here. And then you get off the plane as fast as you can. You need a parachute out because it's likely they're not going to make it. But
I like your brain so much.
Jesse, Taylor Fedina wrote in, you are from Virginia, the land of lovers. You clearly, by being a long-term resident, know your way around the romantic field.
Very well.
Yeah. All right. Well, Taylor says, looking for some dating advice.
obviously, yes.
Is Taylor a male or a female? Sorry, Cameron.
It's a gray circle. Like they haven't put a avatar in yet. So
this needs to be
wow,
this needs to
Jesse.
be like
This is interesting.
both any gender needs to be able
This
to
is
relate
going to be a
this
good one, I
advice.
can tell.
looking for some dating advice. I am mid-20s and have never been on a date. How do I go about finding my lover?
Well, so glad you
wow.
asked. There, Taylor.
Oh boy.
Do we all get to answer this?
Yeah,
Guys?
go for it.
No.
This is
No.
Taylor,
that's
there's
Jesse.
There's a great book. It's by Joshua Harris. It's called I Kiss Dating Goodbye, and it's written for people just like you.
Oh, you
in your
guys,
in your
we
scenario.
need to talk about how is that not in?
yeah.
Oh, maybe yeah.
Well, I think we mentioned it. I think we mentioned it last week.
It was in case you missed it last
Yeah,
week.
that Joshua Harris, the author, has now apologized. Yeah, so you're mid-20s, never been on a date, and need a lover. I think you know what would attract. Again, someone of the opposite sex. I don't know. I think here's the thing. I feel like a lot of people, having just been to space camp,
You
there's a lot
can
of
literally
people
see
in-
his mind just like
the
you
wheels
see
are turning.
Just gear,
Listen.
the wheels are turning.
having been to space camp, I can
His
guarantee
wheels
you.
turn until his eyes glisten, and then
Yeah.
he has the worst advice.
Listen, having just been to space camp, I can guarantee you there are a lot of people in your exact scenario. There are adults that have never been on a date and they need lovers. So you go there and be the bad boy like I did. I've already outlined it earlier in this podcast because they're going to see someone, like I said, cutting corners, not playing by their own rules. And they're going to know that's a person that I will hopefully ask out on a date, and you will solve two problems, yours and the other person. So you're welcome.
I mean, should we give that person real advice?
Yeah, go for it, Annie.
Yeah, go for it.
No, not me.
Let's-
One of y'all,
I want to hear.
Tyler.
I want to hear, Annie.
I want to hear. Yeah, ask
let's hear
Annie.
it. Let's hear
No,
it.
I would just say then ask somebody out. If you want to go on a date, ask somebody out. Go to coffee. If you're a female and you feel weird about that, ask him to coffee. If you're a dude, ask a girl to lunch or dinner or coffee. Ask someone out. You
Does that
can go
count?
on a date anytime you want to.
Would you recommend the dating apps?
Yeah,
Approach?
I would. I think they're good.
Which
I
one?
think they
Which
help.
one?
I
Which
think they
one
help
would you
get-
recommend?
Because there's like a bunch of them
Yeah.
now, right?
I'm not on any of them right
Farmers
now.
only?
I just think if they're sure. Depends on where Mr. Taylor or Miss Taylor
FarmersOnly.com.
live.
If you're in candy corn country, I would say FarmersOnly.com can help
Yeah.
you.
I would just say if that's something you want, you should take a step toward it. I cheer for you about that. That's all. That's a stupid answer compared to Jesse's really informed answer.
I'm
but
telling you, you're going to be in an intimate, intense situation with these people. A bond will form with these space campers, especially when you attempt that barrel roll with the shuttle, you know? So if you don't end up with a lover, I don't know what to tell you.
Out of a barrel roll,
I literally don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that's right.
Try farmersonly.com, I guess, because you're beyond my help. You're beyond my help at that point.
Caroline's asking you, Jesse, what's your number one teaching advice for a high school teacher? For her, she's a high school teacher. She wants your number one teaching advice.
Oh, well, obviously, send a message day one. Like, don't let because when I was a kid and I had teachers, my strategy was simple. I let them know instantly they're not in control here. I am. And, I would do whatever it takes to make sure that the students held the power over the teacher. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to come into class, leather jacket, sleeves rolled up, and you're going to start writing. And without any student having done anything, you're going to turn around and point your finger just wildly and accusing them of things. Grab 3 of them and send them off to the principal. And now say, who's ready to learn? Who's ready to learn? And then, it's fear. Lead by fear. That's always the answer, is to lead by fear.
Now, Annie, years ago, you taught 3rd, 4th grade. Is that what you did?
Yes. Yeah. Leather jacket. That's always how you kick it off. That'll really show them. I'm with you, Jesse.
You find the biggest student in the entire school. You throw them in detention.
Yeah, exactly. You bully the bully, and then everybody knows who the boss is. Just like Jesse did at Space Camp.
It's easy. Lead by fear. The answer is key. Answer is easy.
All right, last question. There's a lot, but this is just the last one we have time for. Josh Williams said, I just started a mobile coffee business. Any advice on getting clients and attention?
Yes. And this is thanks to a listener who wrote in the other week. This is perfect. This is perfect. A mobile coffee shop business. So you need to emphasize the quick aspect of this, and also, you're listening to this. I can venture a guess that you're a person of faith, and that you're clever. And so here's what: rename your business.
Wow, what made you venture both of those things?
Well, if you like this show, you got to be clever.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a mental,
you
dud,
asked me for advice. You're obviously a
play.
pretty wise person.
Sure.
You have very good judgment. I'll at least say that.
Right.
So it's a mobile.
And then we have a whole lot of Jesus stuff. If you're not a person of faith, you probably would be like meh after a couple.
Yeah.
So
So
although I'd like to hear from the non-religious relevant podcast fans who's just here to like listen and hear from.
I know from on Twitter.
I know they chime in.
Yeah, I hear from people on Twitter who've listened for years and years and years. They're atheists, but they like, enjoy hearing our worldview and perspective and stuff. And it makes, humanizes, Christian worldview for them. And so they listen and they think it's funny and stuff, Yeah. So, we have non-religious people who listen for sure. But the vast majority.
It's not an unsafe assumption to venture that in the case of this mobile coffee.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Sorry, Jesse. I barrel rolled that one.
No. Easy.
And it was awesome.
No problem. This one, this actually comes from us from a listener who wrote in question of the week, and it just comes to mind. Step 1: rename your mobile coffee business Shadrach, Meshach, and a Bean to Go. Step 2: start counting that money. Start counting that cash as we roll in. It's a perfect name for that business. The perfect business. Shadrach, Meshach, and a Bean to Go.
So
mobile coffee. Mobile coffee.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, if you have life conundrums that you need Jesse's help with, you can hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast and use hashtag AskJesse, and we will try to solve your conundrums for you on next Tuesday's episode.
Yeah, and if you question if that strategy work, call old John Testament. He's out there on his own private island right now, sitting on a pile of mint money. So it's a flawless strategy here. The guy was in every life way in the country.
You're saying like Chili's was founded by Roger Chili. Mm-hmm. By the way, we hear from people continually
every day.
Wait, there's not like a
Chandler and I both got tagged today in a Chili's tweet.
Yeah,
I know, but
I love it.
But like people think that there's actually a Roger Chili. That's what I think is the funniest part of it. But
we don't know
there's not. That I didn't know.
We don't know there's not. Let me say that it hasn't been confirmed.
You can't know there's not a Roger Chili.
So, but Jesse, what you're saying is the famous Christian candy Testaments was founded by John Testament, and
his name was his destiny. Cameron is what I'm saying.
Also, the famous Christian candy that feels like a strong adjective.
He'd be a fool not to. It's funny. That map. A couple years ago, back when Christian bookstores were a thing. Below the Bible Belt, the Testaments were ranking pretty high in the Halloween candy. So, but John Testament. I mean, like I said, he'd be a fool not to, because no one can. He didn't even need to patent the name because his last name. It's just you can't own the copyright on that. It's. It was foretold that he would run that business, and now he's in his mansion right now, just laughing it all up. So
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
A
Mobile
bean
coffee.
to go. I don't know how I didn't hear that one when we talked about it a few weeks ago, but that's actually brilliant.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I didn't come up with it, but it
we'll
was a
take
great
credit for it.
opportunity to use the joke.
And because it's a mobile one, he's coming to you. He's coming. He's going.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a punchy little name where you're like, "Hey, meet me at the
No.
blah blah blah."
ready to go.
You can have that long, cumbersome name because you don't have to ever say it.
Yeah.
Right.
I like it.
Exactly.
I like it.
All right. Well, many thanks to Dr. Eric Mason for joining us this week. You can follow him on Twitter at Pastor E Mace, M-A-S-E. His book, Woke Church, is out now. Go get it. Hey, by the way, while you're online, the new Relevant store is up. There's podcast merch. There's other stuff. You should go check it out. A lot of you, we've been talking about it for months, and a lot of you are like, when's it finally launching? It went up.
Yeah, it's up.
Go over there, store.relevantmagazine.com. You can find it at our site right there in the nav. There is a podcast fan section. We will be continually adding stuff to that section. In fact, I just saw more designs today. So go check it out. I think there's a Hello Hello shirt. There's a couple
Yes,
logos.
there's a Hello Hello shirt.
Yeah.
I like it.
We got some other stuff
We're
happening.
trying to get the Testament logo, but John, he's stingy. He does.
Yeah.
He's to vet the brands.
He has a copyright that last estimated it's worth $3 billion. So,
And that phone case looks cool. I want one of those.
There you go. We
There's some
send
cute
one to you.
stuff.
Go check it out. The new store is up now. And Jesse read it at the beginning of the show, but like if you like the show, head over to iTunes and leave a rate it and leave a review. It helps other people find it, and we always appreciate the positive feedback. If you don't
How
like the
much
show,
did you
keep it to
love when you
yourself.
found that, Jesse?
I mean, it was just confirmation.
That had to bring such joy to your bitter little heart. I can't imagine.
That
I'll tell
cold
you-
black heart of mine.
I'll take
got a
5
tinge
stars
of,
for our feud.
I was with him last week at Space Camp as the Twitter response to y'all's little slice feud was rolling in. It was very, very one-sided that you got to let Annie go free, and the down with the slices czar. I saw a lot
Yeah,
of
there was a lot of calling you a slice czar.
There's a lot of very hurtful
Did I lead
things.
that?
A lot of very hurtful things said about me, and I just want to say, as the kind of person I am, I will never forgive you. I'll say this, Annie. The last person who called me a slice czar to my face was named Sherman, and I still wake up screaming every night thinking about what I did to Sherman.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
a great callback.
Jesse, I
name will
like
haunt
having
me.
your help on slices. I was playing a game that no one had taught me the rules. That was the situation. It was not that I mind playing the game. I just needed the rules. Now that I have them, I like to play. I'm trying to play well.
All right. Well, thanks for the reviews, the positive ones. If you don't like the show, don't go to iTunes or leave a review. Just keep it to yourself. The new issue of Relevant that you heard about on the show is out now. Go check it out. Lauren Daigle is the cover. There's some incredible content. Mark Wahlberg's in the issue. A lot of other stuff. Don't miss it. You can view the issue at relevantmagazine.com, but the best experience is subscribing. You get a great deal, and it comes to you 6 times a year. Go
Tyler Huckabee, that article on Mark Wahlberg was really good. I already got to read it.
my goodness, thank you.
I got an issue when I was in Orlando. I stole it from The Office, and that is a really good piece. So I'm glad people get to read
And
that.
I will say this: there's a warrant out for Annie for petty theft, for shoplifting. There's a warrant. You're not
She's a
welcome.
persona non grata in Florida now. She's not allowed to
Mark
cross
Cameron
Wahlberg
turned his back one
himself is
time,
on
and
the
I
case.
filled a suitcase full of magazines.
So go check it out. If you want to subscribe, you can go to relevantmagazine.com/subscribe. And if you want to view the new issue and check it out, it's right there at the website as well. We love the sport. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
Chandler String.
I'm Jesse Carey.
Tyler Huckabee.
And I'm Annie F. Downs.
Happy Halloween, everybody. We will see you on Friday.
Said I know you walk to the beat of your own drum, just to help overcome the fear of the night, standing in plain sight, never you open the door and run out the way of the ghosts that you face on the floor.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
But you can say the love is true, psychic, emotional all around you. So you can find the things to do, psychic, emotional all around you.
Little do they know, there's a whole Boston Market meal under there.
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care. Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.